Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler V series V's I would do for a little while now. Go over there, try out food and drink items. I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't originally planning to do reviews this morning, but I'm in a bit of a good mood, so. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am wearing grody work clothes. Typically, when I'm inside the truck and I'm wearing grody work clothes, that means I was on my way home from work and I found some shit to review for you. It's not the case today with any of the items that I'm going to be reviewing in this particular little run. This item, all these other items, are ones that I've had in my fridge or my pantry, maybe a couple weeks or so, something like that. And like I said, I wasn't originally planning to do a review today, but I was out of work. That would definitely happen. And that's actually a reason why I'm in a good mood. Usually, work tends to put me in a crappier mood than a better mood, but, and I hate to be mean about it, but we had one guy who finally decided to quit last night. And it was like, yeah, okay. Not a bad guy, just not the best in terms of being a worker. And it was one of those things where it was like, I never rooted against him. But I wasn't unhappy when he said he was leaving. So, wish him all the best, but it was like, oh, thank fuck. Anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What am I doing here? Well, we're going to do, sure, I'll do this one first. We're going to do, boom! It's a drink thing. It is specifically La Colombé Coffee Peppermint Mocha Latte, frothy and delicious. Ooh. It's creamy and frothy, cafe taste and texture, perfected in our cafe since 1994. Real ingredients, we're roasters and brewers, we use highest quality ingredients. Follow the dove, we believe that great coffee can fuel a better world for everybody. Maybe. But yeah, so I'm not 100% where I got this one from, but I know that I saw it and immediately had to grab it because it's Peppermint Mocha. I love Peppermint Mocha. If you watch my channel, it's a good chance you know I really love Peppermint Mocha stuff. So, it's one of the best flavor combinations anyway. So let's get a thing for the thing. Can we get a thing for the thing? Ha ha ha! Ha 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 ha! I got a big head. Anyway, let's try some stuff. I already shook it up and everything. Ooh, it's got a nice smell. Ooh, that is both creamy and frothy. Very creamy and frothy. Okay. I got you. I see what you're doing, La Colombé, or however you want to pronounce that. Okay. So I've reviewed a number of Peppermint Mocha coffee drinks. I've done the Thin Mints from Dunkin' Donuts. I've done the Peppermint Mocha from Starbucks. I did a Peppermint Mocha from Casey's, like their coffee brand. Like I said, I'm a big fan of chocolate and mint as flavor combination. I think it is absolutely phenomenal. So I'm always up for trying it. And it's cool because, like, you'd think that it's got to be more or less the same deal. I mean, obviously, there are certain similarities, but no. They're all very different in their own ways. This one, more so than even most. With all the other ones that I mentioned, Starbucks, yeah, they're a coffee brand thing and everything. But, they don't realistically focus on making the best coffee. They're just doing what the fuck they need to do. And whatever, it is what it is. Their branding and all that stuff. With all of those, they created very commercial products when it came to, like, their Peppermint Mocha. And what I mean by that is that they were all really tasty. I enjoyed all of them for different reasons, but they were all trying to cater to as many people as possible. They weren't putting the quality of the coffee first. It was, let's just make this shit tasty. With this, as they said, they're roasters, this is their deal, you can taste the quality difference. Now, there's good and bad to that. It depends on where you're coming from. If you're a big coffee aficionado, I'm sure you probably appreciate that greatly because, that fundamentally should be the thing. Even though peppermint mocha is the flavoring, still want to, have that quality coffee. For me, I'm not a big coffee person. I like coffee adjacent things. So for me, it's a little bit lost, but I can taste the difference for sure. And it's a little bit like, so because it is extremely smooth, it is creamy, it is frothy, and it's a very different experience than I had with any of the other ones that I mentioned. Like I said, this one, it feels a little bit more premium. It feels a little bit more like it's aiming for that coffee aspect. And that's not to say that the peppermint mocha aspect isn't nice. The peppermint is actually very nice. I feel like they could have gone a little bit harder on the mocha, but I think they went for more of a dark chocolate kind of mocha. Focus a little bit more on the bitterness. So this isn't as sweet as like the Starbucks or the Dunkin' Donuts, but it still has really nice flavor, and the drinking experience is very, very nice. Yeah. And the funny thing is as much as I mentioned the coffee aspect, I wouldn't say like it has like a super strong coffee flavor. The peppermint mocha is still really kind of leading the way, but it's more, like I said, the drinking experience, kind of the sensation on your mouth. That's where like the coffee, like the quality of things, I think kind of comes more into play. And then just the fact that, again, it's not as sweet. And I think that I think that was intentional. I think they didn't want it to be like a dessert drink. They wanted it to be something that would carry the flavor and still, represent their coffee well. And I mean, as far as I can tell, did a pretty good job. Man, that is creamy and frothy. That is very creamy and frothy. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Well, in this case, it's more an issue of would I get it again versus the other ones that I talked about. I will say this. Without having all of them available to me, I can only kind of gauge from memory. I think this would probably be, I would say probably like maybe third in the grouping. I would still say that Starbucks is probably the best overall, even though, again, I think this has a better coffee quality to it. I think that just has the best blend of the peppermint, the mocha, and the coffee. I think that is the overall best experience of all those things. Then after that, maybe the Dunkin' Thin Mints. I do like the Dunkin' Thin Mints. There's, I like Thin Mints in general, like cookies, so there's kind of an attachment there. With this, I will say I think it's better than the Casey's. Casey's was still good, but it was just very strong on the peppermint. It wasn't very well balanced. This, little bit better balance. I like some of the bitterness that's going on there. It creates some contrast. But, again, I think this is one where it would benefit from being enjoyed by somebody who's more into coffee than I am. But it is very nice. And so to that end, would I get it again? Maybe on occasion. If I ran into it, I don't know if this is like a seasonal thing for them. Like most of them are like Christmas themed, basically. If this is something I could get year round, then yeah, absolutely. Fuck it, man. I might as well. But if those other options are available, this again wouldn't be my first choice, but at the same time, I'd still probably pick it up. If I'm recommending it, I definitely say try it. Especially if you're somebody, one of those select chosen few who enjoy peppermint and chocolate as a flavor combination. I would definitely say give it a shot. I do think it's something really, it's an interesting, different experience than the typical stuff. I think it has a lot going for it, even if it's not my outright favorite. And again, especially if you're somebody who you do enjoy like the coffeeness of stuff, then absolutely, because I think you'll appreciate it even more than I will. Anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of the day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of the year. Folks, go over there, have yourselves a truly peppermint mocha-tastic rest of your life, because damn it, I love peppermint mocha. It's such a good thing. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity in the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do can't do all the time. I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes. But sometimes we're fortunate that the universe throws us a little bit of a bone. Like I said, for me today, which again, I almost feel bad for, but it's like, hey, he didn't get fired. He quit of his own volition. He's on to hopefully better things. I genuinely, wish the best for the guy. It was just, I just didn't want to keep working with him. It was just too much. It was one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, he's there to help you out. And then it's like, well, somehow ends up making my job twice as hard. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, I hope that the thing for you is that whatever you embark upon, that you're able to go over there and strive to greatness and, at the very least, competency in the things that you do. And hopefully, if you can't do that at one place, you can find a place where it works out better for you. And then hopefully, your outgoing coworkers can be, a little bit better set up for themselves. Not every person fits every job. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, bye.